What's up, guys? Just got back from a workout, doing some intervals. Got about 5 miles in today, but got me to 50 miles in these shoes, the Asics Magic Speed 2. I'm going to give you my full review on these shoes here in just a second, but before we do, if you guys wouldn't mind, please, if you haven't done so already, go below, click that subscribe button. Also click that bell for notifications on when new content drops. Really helps the channel out. If you would also click that bell, or I'm sorry, click that thumbs up and like this video. It helps the YouTube algorithms for us to reach a broader audience. Also, share this with your running friends, or if you know anybody that might be interested in this pair of shoes. So as always, this is my independent review of a pair of running shoes, and this is my perspective on these shoes as a heavier runner. So we'll kind of get into it. The Asics Magic Speed 2, which, by the way, before we do, actually, if you guys have ran in this shoe, or any of you have run in this shoe, how have you gotten on with it? Please leave your comment in the section below. Where do you feel that this shoe best fits you? Are there things that you like, maybe dislike about this shoe? All that kind of stuff. Would love for you guys to leave that in the comment section below, because it's going to help other viewers out there be able to see what other runners are doing with these shoes. So anyways, let's get into Asics Magic Speed 2. Now, the upper is very thin upper. It's very breathable. Just going to go over some quick stats and features, because I'll put a link or a thing in my in the video for the initial review of this shoe. But it's a very breathable upper. Some things that I like about the upper is it does lock down really well. It does have a very thin tongue, but it is gusseted, which is nice. The laces are like shoe. You know, they're like cheese cutter type laces, so they're very thin. Not the most comfortable, but they don't really feel like they cut into the top of my foot, so I can't really complain about that. It does have some padding around the heel collar, very much like the Metaspeed Sky. Not much heel structure back here. There is a little bit, but it's not much. But it does have this nice kind of curve to it, which kind of cups around the bulb of your heel. Wide toe box. Definitely went true to size on this. If you want more racy type of feel, I would go half size down. I went men's 10.5, which is my normal size, and it's definitely plenty accommodating, both volume and width. So I have no complaints there. But again, if you want that more racy type of feel where your foot is definitely locked down a little bit more, I'd probably go half size down. Yeah, midsole, you've got Flight Foam Blast Plus, which is this top layer right here. The layer underneath that you can kind of barely tell is there unless you're like really kind of looking at it. My lighting's kind of terrible here, but there is a layer of regular Flight Foam underneath. And then sandwiched in the middle of that is a carbon-infused TPU plate. And then underneath you've got Asics, I think it's Asics rubber on here, and a pretty decent amount of Asics rubber. Like it's pretty thick underneath there. So how has this thing been running for me? Like I said, the upper is breathable. It is, you know, for a racing type of upper, it's relatively comfortable. Now, if you're talking about shoes that might have a little bit more comfortable upper that are in the same category here, definitely, you know, the Nike Zoomfly 5, probably the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. I haven't ran in that yet. The Puma DV8 Nitro 2, definitely a lot more comfort to it. But if you're wanting that kind of race day feel, you definitely get that with this upper. It's very similar to the Asics Metaspeed Sky, which is, this is supposed to be the training partner to the Asics Metaspeed Sky. So it shares a lot of similarities with the Metaspeed Sky, which I do own. And we'll get into that here in just a second. But if you're looking for that racing type upper, you get that with this. Now, the midsole foam is a little bit on the firmer side, but I'm not going to knock it because it actually runs really good. It definitely feels good at that 5K, 10K pace, so somewhere around your 7, maybe 8 effort feels really good, and especially if you can get a really kind of nice toe off with this, because it does have that curved forefoot here, which if you have ran in the Asics Glide Ride, I think this is something that you'll really appreciate in this shoe. It kind of has that same kind of rolling effect that you get with the Asics Glide Ride. It does have a 6mm offset to it, and I believe it's 31 millimeters in the forefoot, which means you get 37 in the heel. But it's definitely, if you can get that like really good kind of toe off, that really good push, it has a really nice pop to it. The wonderful thing that I kind of like about this dual midsole foam here with the Flight Foam and the Flight Foam Blast Plus is, especially in the forefoot, when you really start getting into those faster efforts, that Flight Foam Blast Plus in that forefoot, you stay on your toes a little bit more, kind of landing more midfoot, forefoot, somewhere in this, like this area right up here. And it really has a nice compression, nice bounce, and that plate really provides a nice pop to it. So today's effort, for example, was 6 by half mile, so 6 by, I guess, 800 meters at my 5K pace, what I perceive a 5K pace to be for me, so about a 7 to 8 effort, somewhere around there. And so my pace was right in that like 7:45, 8 minute a mile range. If you go on Strava, I actually posted up a picture of the intervals on my Strava account. But that is another video that I'm going to be coming to soon, is about those apps, by the way, coming soon. And so when you really get into it, it really has a nice kind of pop, nice bounce to it. It's a very resilient foam, a really resilient shoe, especially when you compare it to a shoe like the Metaspeed Sky. This is going to be definitely a more daily training type of partner to the Metaspeed Sky for sure. But at those faster efforts, it really was a pleasure to run in this shoe. It really has a nice pop to it, really has a nice bounce to it. Even when I was doing those warm-up and cool-downs in this shoe, it, at those slower efforts, it was actually very nice and smooth. It transitions really well. It's definitely more for those moderate to faster paces. I definitely wouldn't say like it's an easy day shoe. It's not really comfortable. It's not really meant for that kind of stuff. But it's still a stable enough platform that you could do some slightly easier, maybe more daily training type efforts in this shoe. Because of that Flight Foam, midsole foam here in the heel, it's a very stable shoe. And even as far as the twist is concerned, that plate is really providing a rigidity to this shoe, so it doesn't really twist on you that much. The outsole grip is really good. It's also very durable, 50 miles, doesn't look like anything's happening to it, so like typical Asics type of rubber, it'll probably be here after the apocalypse happens and basically the world has become a deserted wasteland. Asics rubber will still be here. Other than that, I mean, the upper is durable too. It's not showing anywhere at all. It's very comfortable, especially in these warmer days, these warmer runs. But overall, it's been an absolute pleasure to run in this shoe. Would I consider this, and even for heavier runners, I think you're going to appreciate this shoe. I could see for a heavier runner, if you want to have a shoe that you can run your half marathon in, do 5K, 10K, half marathon. I could even see a full marathon in this shoe. I think as a heavier runner, you're going to appreciate this shoe. I think the durometer of the Flight Foam and the Flight Foam Blast Plus in this shoe is really going to help with people that are a bit on the heavier side, because we are able to compress these foams a little bit easier, so it definitely has a nice ride to it. It's definitely, would I say it's my first pick? No, I'd probably lean in the direction of the Puma Deviate Nitro 2, but if you're looking for a racing type of shoe, because this is a little bit lighter than the Deviate Nitro 2, it's more breathable than the Deviate Nitro 2. I think the plate is a little bit more rigid and it's got a little bit more pop to it than the Deviate. but it just doesn't have that like wow factor from the midsole foam like the Deviate Nitro does. That's kind of how I would just put it. But again, this feels more racy than the Deviate does. At 150, I think it's $150 for this shoe. Is it worth it? I think so. I think it's a good shoe. It's probably not the best in this kind of category, this tempo shoe kind of category, but I think this is going to work really well for a lot of different types of runners out there. It's not anything like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not anything like a Nova Blast 3, but it's definitely a decent shoe for those tempo efforts, and you can use it on some long runs too. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. Like I said, 150 bucks. I think it's a good deal. If you can get it on discount, that's really awesome. This is the Ekiden edition version of it, and I've had it for a while. Finally got the 50 miles in on this shoe, and I'm really enjoying this. I would consider this for a half marathon, for my half marathon that'll be coming up in April. So anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your running friends. Again, if you're just browsing through and you come across this video, if you haven't done so already, please give this video a nice subscribe button. Also, down below, if you want me to do some more shoe reviews, it would also help if you gave this video or any of my videos a super thanks. I believe that option has been opened up down below, so it just really helps me be able to do more of these shoe videos for you guys. So I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, never pay full price for running shoes, and enjoy the run. See you next time.